Morning, guys. Good morning, good afternoon. I've just sent out the link now, so we're just going to wait for some people and then we will get started. All right, let's see what CGC is doing. So I'm still in CGC from yesterday. I held it. I got in yesterday at like 120 level. I just held it because it was looking good. I closed and then I only held some left and see what happens today. And obviously we can see continuation. So we got in at 120, was pretty much the bottom yesterday since open. And then we saw it push to the upside. Now we have 148. Our next level is, we have 192. And we have this level here, 170. So these are the next levels here on CGC. All right, what else is maybe here? NKLA. Keep NKLA on watch. I'm only waiting for 140 break on this, then I'll look for an entry. Mullen's also been running, I think, just because of the EV sector this is following. So Mullen and NKLA are the two plays that move together, obviously. Then there's Lucid, FSR, and a couple other EV plays. But right now, NKLA is kind of leading the way. It's had a nice run yesterday, and then obviously it's up 15% this morning, so it's looking very good. If we're looking at the chart here, the daily on Mullen is trying to reverse here on the daily, which is obviously great to see. We have this level here. So you can see it's broken that trend line now, right? So that big daily trend break is definitely what you want to see on this. So we can put the support level here at 0.39. Obviously this is under $1, so for me I won't be touching it until it does break $1, but we will just wait and see if it does eventually get above that level. Then I'll start to look for it. I know a lot of people are bag holding this play, unfortunately. It happens to everyone. That's what happens if you have no discipline and you don't keep a stop loss. So hopefully it goes up for those people who are still holding it. But I'm just giving you guys the levels on this right now. 130. And then we go all the way up to this level here, which is 155 down. So it obviously has a lot of room. We can see that now since the trend line has broken. The next level we are looking for is 0.65, and then these are the next levels that I have on Mullen. I'll post this level here so you guys can use this as reference for those who are interested in this setup. So this is Mullen daily chart. So this is the daily chart. So we can see trend line break. So it's basically a trend line break. So looking for 0.65 reclaim. And then your key support level is this orange line here that I've marked, which is 0.3900. All right, perfect. So there's the Mullen chart right there posted for you guys. Hey there, man. Welcome. GNS is bearish. So for me, when I post these charts, right, it's Definitely, it's on a shorter time frame, so that's why I always post the chart and the time frame. So the one that I posted on Twitter, if you have a look at it, I posted there. I said it's bearish on the 1 hour chart. So simply looking at the 1 hour, right? Look, why is it bearish? Simply because of this white line. What is this white line? That's the trend line, meaning that we've seen price go down every single time it's reached this, it's rejected it and come down, okay? The only time this will be bullish is if there's a trend reversal, meaning that this breaks above this white line, okay? For me, for confirmation, I wanted to reclaim $1, retest this and then push up, and then that is your confirmation of a trend reversal. So right now, there is no sign of a reversal, okay? Sorry, this was 109 level. But we can see the main thing about this is that what we can see with this chart is that it's holding this $1 psychological level, which is obviously a very good sign because this is a big level we can see from larger time frame and previous price action. We can see it's pulled back to $1, it's run up, pull back, and so on, right? So still this is bearish right now because it's every time it's hit this trend line, it's rejected. So it's once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. This might be the 5th time here. So the best thing to do is just always wait for confirmation, meaning that you want it to break above this trend line, you want it to reclaim this 109 level, and then hopefully push to 120 level. So that's why this is bearish. So it's just simply the white line. You can see that's bearish, right? The downtrend. So I personally don't trade in downtrends. One good thing about this, like I just mentioned, is that it's holding $1, which is exactly what you want. So the best thing about this is that it holds this $1 level. It's been a very strong area of support every time it's pulled back to this level to run to 130. This pulled back here, it ran to 130 again, pull back here. So what we can expect, right, is just it's basically to hopefully push up to 130. So you first need 109 reclaim, then 120, then 130. No problem. Yeah, thanks. If you guys can also, if you guys can subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. And thanks also again for the continuous support on Twitter. Just trying to grow this YouTube channel as well. I'm also, like I mentioned, I'm going to be posting more educational videos, not only just live streams, but I'm kind of just doing these live streams in the morning to get everyone and try and grow this channel and help you guys. And you guys can see what I kind of do on a day-to-day basis. Obviously, more of all of the calls and alerts and everything for intraday is all just posted in the Discord. But I like to just show you guys how I'm prepping kind of for pre-market at the moment. NKLA. So NKLA looks, obviously it's still good. It's right now, it's obviously in that downtrend here. So I'm looking for 140 break. That's it on this. No 140 break. I do not enter this trade. What's happening with this? LIFW. This probably pull back to around VWAP. Yep, with 9 EMA. So this looks very good right now. Falling wedge is about to break out of a falling wedge pattern. So we can see here. And then we can say this here. I'd even put this level here actually to be closer. So that's kind of what I have now for this chart. On this, so we have previous resistance here. We broke above that. I quickly scalped this earlier at this 1.13. I got it a little earlier, and then we broke above, and I sold mostly at 0.14 for like 6-7%, and then just cut my losses after that. Yeah, this is a CGC. Looks great. For those who just joined, I gave this as an alert yesterday at 120, which was pretty much the bottom. We entered right here. No, where was it? This was yesterday here. So we entered around this level here at 120, which was perfect. And then we continued to push all the way up to 146 yesterday, which is the high of today, 148, sorry. So now, right, obviously, look, we break 148. The next level we have is 170, which I've drawn here. Which is this level here, 170, and then we have all the way to 192. So we should try and see if this can break above this, hold this level into open, and then hopefully push up. If it does reject this, okay, where do we expect it to come down to? Just previous resistance, right now support, and then go up to this level, retest, and push to the upside. So that's what we can expect here on CGC. If you have any charts, guys, feel free to post. I know I'm on a little bit earlier than normal, but I thought that it would be a better idea since it is Friday. So I'll get on like 5-10 minutes earlier. We'll probably get more people in the next 10-15 minutes or so. Right. EFSH, I'm just keeping this on watch. The volume isn't quite there at the moment, but it is a top gain. It's up 16%. So that's kind of the main reason why I am watching this at the moment, right? So looking at EFSH, what do we see? It's actually looking pretty good for a setup. The reason I say that is because yes, it's in a downtrend, right? But we can start to see that there is an area of support here, which it has pulled, which is held, which is, we could say, around this $1 psychological level. Okay, so ever since it's pulled back to this $1 psychological level, we've noticed right here from yesterday it held this level, and now it's testing this trend line. So we wanted to break this level here. We have all the way up to 150, but we could wait for this 135 break, which looks good on this. But I'll definitely keep an eye on this for sure. I like the setup a lot. Yeah, no problem, Johnny. Yeah, I honestly, like for me, that's one thing that I do and I try and do on Twitter is I try and just make my charts clean. I do use some indicators. I rarely just only use 9EMA and VWAP. Other than that, sometimes I use some other EMAs, but I kind of just keep it simple. But when I post the charts, I'm just trying to keep it simple and easy for everyone to understand, because you see so many charts where it has so many things on it, right? And if someone's looking at that, they don't really understand. But if you're clearly looking at this chart for a beginner or someone who is starting out trading, right, you can clearly see this is in a downtrend, right? So that means that you don't want to buy when something's in a downtrend, right? You want to play something when it's in an uptrend. So once this trend breaks, right, the trend reversal happens, and then it starts to push to the upside, and you start to see an uptrend, which it is happening right now, right? So if we go to a smaller time frame, we can use the 15-minute, or let's just use the 1 hour, it'll be easier to see. So we can see, so since $1, right, it's kind of been climbing up, start to see this bullish pattern, bullish trend starting to push up, right? So it's kind of just simple and easy way to do it. Nothing complicated about it. I don't use the MACD crossover and all that kind of stuff, RSI. I just keep my trading very, very simple. Everyone in the Discord knows that as well. Down the CGC, that's good. ACB, let me have a look at this. So ACB is also running with this nice. So this one's running with ACB runs with CGC, and then Tilray should be moving as well, which is another weed play. So Tilray and all of them, I'll just mention it to you guys on Twitter. So weed plays to watch. So we can put Tilray, AGC, and then CGC. So those are the plays that you can watch today. GNS, I know a lot of people on Twitter are liking this one. For me personally, I just been posting it because most people are looking at it, but same thing with this. Yeah, look, that $1 level on this. Hollow, what do you think of Hollow holding at 145? It's the daily on this. Wow, I was down 30. What happened yesterday with this? Did it have an offering or something? Why is this down so much? So look, this chart, you can't really chart this, right? Like it's no real levels. Like this whole candle here is like room to the upside. So if this starts running, that's where you can expect it to go all the way up to fill this candle. So we have, what is this? Yeah, you need it to go all the way up to 250. I don't know if you can help me and explain what happened with this play. why it's dumped like that. So there's nothing really too much going on with this. Oh, it wasn't yesterday, it was the other day, 2 days ago. So 145 is that resistance level. So it needs to break 145. The reason why I say that is because here's level here and here. So breaks 145, then you got room to this here, this 185 on this. So there's nothing, the chart doesn't look good. There's no reversal or anything yet. Only good thing is that you can see it's found an area of support here, 120. It's holding this. Starting to get some buyers in here, green candles. So we can start to see that maybe there is a push to the upside, but needs 145, right? Break above this whole resistance line here. Yeah, I don't know what happened with that, honestly. That is not nice. IDAI. I mean, this is a bullish chart, obviously. Look, you can start to see now it's broken out of that breakout here. Broke out of that. Falling wedge pattern. So you have that breakout there on this level, and then this is kind of the resistance 250. It's kind of psychological level, I would say. And then your next level would be 285. And then all the way up to this 320. Support level would just be this here, this basically this 205. You get these most touches here, this level. So these are your levels here on this IDAI. Let me post this one. This is the 4-hour. So IDAI 4-hour chart. So see there's a breakout, right? Bullish momentum. Look for 250 break next. BRSH. This is probably one of my top plays at the moment to watch, just because it's in this falling wedge. I do like this setup, so I'm looking for it to push to this upside next. HKIT, NKLA, what's happening with this thing? Still in that downtrend, but we're going to wait for this and see what happens on it. CGC, yeah, so now if it comes down, where's VWAP? So it might, as we can see that since pre-market, it's been respecting VWAP, so meaning that we expect it to pull back to VWAP and push up, if not pull back to this 130 level. EFSH, this one's alright. GNS. Yeah, GNS is okay. TTO. I don't trade TTO at all. I just know so people ask me every single day about this play if I can post it. You guys can see this chart here, right? It's a falling wedge pattern forming. So we do expect this to push to the upside. When is it going to push to the upside? I have no idea, right? I have zero idea. The only thing that I would look at is 0.28 level is what you need next. And then you have room to 325 and then so on, right? So these are levels here I posted on Twitter already. So you can have a look. It hasn't moved at all on that. I really like this EFSH though. I'll post this on Twitter as well for you guys, because the main reason why I like this is because with these kind of plays is because it's pulled back to this $1 level. It's held this level yesterday as well. So I'm expecting this to run today, in my opinion. This should run today. If it's holding that psychological level, we should expect this to continue and break this trend line coming up. So this level here, 145. So I'm definitely expecting a break above this. Volume's coming in on this as well. So it might be worth an entry, honestly, to get in on this. I like this setup a lot. As we move all the way to this 250, yeah, here we go. So this looks very, very good. EFSH. Let me just post this one on Twitter for you guys. So this is pre-market. EFSH is the 4-hour chart. So although it's a bearish chart, right? I'm still looking for this. Looking for break above trend line, right? Your key psych support level is clearly that $1 level. That's it. And the fact that it's up 20% this morning is a very good sign as well, right? So things are adding up on this one. I do personally do expect this one to break above and run. CGC looks great. I really like this setup a lot. Probably one of my top plays to watch. GNS. I like GNS as well. So GNS is pretty much the same as EFSH, right? So look, if we're looking, we can look here on the third, let's just go to the 4-hour. So we can see the 4-hour, right? I know I just mentioned this on EFSH, but it's pretty much the exact same setup. So you notice here $1 is a big level, okay? Ever since it's come here, it's rebounded or reversed off this level. So we do expect this to push up. EFSH, longer and a much longer downtrend on this, but this means that there is going to be a possible bigger move to the upside on this, right? So EFSH looks very, very good. I would definitely keep that on watch. So I really like this setup a lot. This is probably my best setup. In my opinion, I would try and grab some. It is a $1 stock, so having a tight stop loss on this is a lot more difficult, but I do expect this to run today. It's up 25% now. It was up 18% like 2 minutes ago. GNS $1. CGC, NKLA. So you guys can keep posting some charts here or ticker names, and then I'll get some charts for you guys and explain some of the setups and charts that you guys like. WE, this one's always just been on watch as WE. This one did not do what I expected. Now we can see it's pulled back to this level here, this point, or this $4. So used to charting these sub $1 stocks. 480. So 480 would be your level of resistance here, right? So break above that, then maybe look for possible entries on 480. Hey Nick, what's up? Give me 1 second. I'll just chart this and then I'll give my feedback on that. So the best thing to do, guys, when you for instance, what was your Nick? You don't have to say if you don't want to, but for instance, like FFIE, what was your reason for entering it? Because if you don't really know why you got in, or you just got in because you saw it on Twitter or something, then obviously it doesn't help with that, because you're kind of just jumping in without kind of a reasoning. But if you had a reason for it, like it ticked all your boxes, then that's fair enough. Let me have a look at it right now, actually. Because I know a lot of people starting out, they do, I was the same when I started, right? When I was on Twitter, following people and just kind of blindly jumping into anything and don't understand what's going on. So that's something that I try and do on my Twitter, is that I try and explain things when I post my charts, right? I don't just blindly give you guys a chart and say whatever, right? So in this one, for example, we can see just all you have to do is simply, the best thing to do is if you see a chart that someone posts or something, I mean, since I'm a day trader, it's kind of different because the charts are probably bearish, or they could be bullish, but majority of the time they're bearish and they just kind of run up for the day because of news or whatever. So using this kind of top-down analysis doesn't really work too much, but just in general, if you were to swing trade this, meaning you hold it for a couple days or so, is that you can just see the overall trend, right? So we can see that there it's bearish, right? Downtrend, and then what's happening here? Okay, it made that little run up, but overall, okay, we can still see that it is bearish. So meaning that it's in a downtrend. We don't trade downtrends. But now if we go to a smaller time frame and have a look and see what's going on, right, we can see exactly here what's happening. So an area of support would be this level here, because we can see this was previous resistance, okay? Became support now, pulled back to this level. So 460 you can have as your support level, right? And then you can have your resistance level would be probably this high of the day, which is 490. I'm assuming you jumped in this at pre-market. Is that what you did? And I got in it for maybe a little too early. I think you might have got in this at pre-market. Yeah, so I mean, if I was starting out as a trader, I personally would just avoid trading pre-market. That's the biggest tip I could give you, because price action is not the same. You won't expect the same results, and doesn't respect chart patterns and anything as much as intraday. So because there's a lack of volume or just very volatile. So you got in yesterday, 479. So this was yesterday. Oh, here you got in here, 479. You didn't take any profits. I mean, if you got in 479 yesterday, that was a very good entry. Oh no, it was here. Sorry. 479. So you got in here. So if you were looking at yesterday when you entered, look, this is what you kind of saw, right? This is all you saw was this downtrend, right? So ignore this gray here because that was yesterday. So this is what you were trading yesterday. If you look from what happened at market open, this was yesterday's pre-market. We can see that big run up. There's the pullback. And then ever since basically at that run up, it's come all the way down, right? So we can see that it was bearish. This is where you entered around here. It has pulled back to this level here, which I mentioned, which is this here, support. So just looking at a larger time frame, right, when you probably entered was on this big red candle. So looking on the 15-minute, you can see that that wasn't probably a good entry because of this huge bearish downtrend and this red candle here, right? So yeah, I mean, yeah, 479, and then it went up to 488. But yeah, I mean, this one, it's just still in a downtrend. It's kind of at the moment, right? It's just difficult to say what's going to happen because it's kind of consolidating. You need it to break above this resistance, this 490 level. It is up 2% right now, but there's not really enough volume on it. It ran, 2 days ago? It was a pretty nice run up. So I personally, if I was you, I wouldn't have more than a 5% stop loss on this, especially if you're a day trader. I don't have more than a 3%, but completely up to you. I don't have more than a 5% because the thing is, right, cut your losses quick. It's fine to lose. It's okay. Everyone loses and no one likes to admit it, but cut your losses quick. It's not the end of the world, right? Because if you have a 5% stop loss, right, or whatever you have it maximum, just cut it. And then your next play could be the best play you ever get in and runs 20-30%, right? So, and then if you think about it and you hold this and you're down 20% on this and you find a runner today 20%, you're pretty much even. So if you cut this one quick, right, or just have a stop loss, I would say under this 460 level, okay? And then if you get stopped out, you get stopped out. And then if there's another entry that comes up and you start to see the play actually moving to the upside where it's right in an uptrend and bullish, then you have more confidence and it's a lot better for it to push and continue to move up. That's all. So trend is your friend. Just play the trend. Don't try and play the downtrend. That's all. But yeah, I mean, if I was you, I would, I mean, it's Friday today as well. So probably market will probably sell off, but I would cut my losses probably just under 455 maximum would be my stop loss personally. NKLA still doing that level. GNS $1, EFSH. It's holding this level here. NBSE, nothing's really going on with this thing. So like I said, this is probably my favorite setup right now going into open because it's pretty much ticking my boxes. You guys see this on my Twitter every single day probably, right? You can clearly see that this is a falling wedge. This is one of my kind of go-to setup in the Discord and I post for you guys on Twitter. kind of just expecting this one to break above this trend line 158 and push to the upside, right? We can see it ran 33% yesterday, which was a great sign. There's always going to be a pullback. That's why it's down 15%, okay? And then now we can start to see that although it is in a downtrend, right? So we can see this whole downtrend, it's found an area of support here at 145. So pulled back here, we're starting to get some green candles, buys are stepping in, and hopefully push to the upside on this, right? So that's what we can hopefully expect next on this play. So the next thing I'm gonna do quickly is just go over my watch list quickly, and then I've got to head into Discord. I'm going to be doing some live trading for the members. So we do have some spots left. If you guys want to join, I'll send you the link now in the chat. Feel free to join. I will be live trading. I live trade Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Give entry signals, stop loss, and all those kind of things. Live seminars, the whole deal. Any questions about it, feel free to message myself on Twitter, and I'll feel free to answer any questions you have about it. And then we kind of just focus more on day trades, and we have a strong risk management strategy and pretty much show you every single trade and reason why we get into all the trades. So it's a good place to learn. We have a good community, so you're more than welcome to join. Okay, so the first player, obviously we're looking at EFSH, right? If this was intraday, I probably would have entered this trade already. The reason why I haven't entered the trade now is because it's Friday and it's, I don't know how strong this play is going to be, but the fact that it's held $1 looks good. So I really like the setup. I know a lot of people are watching this. In my opinion, if there was any trade to take right now, or take a trade into open, I never do, but if there was, this would probably be the number one play. EFSH, okay. GNS, this is another one, same kind of setup, right? Downtrend break, holding $1. Look for this 109 reclaim and then push to the upside. CGC is probably the strongest play at the moment, simply because it's had that breakout from yesterday, falling wedge. Up 16% again this morning, right? Which is exactly what we want to see, but it has struggled to break this 148 level, right? So we need 148 break and then hopefully retest that and push to the upside. NKLA, this one as well, I'm going to keep an eye on. For those who like sub $1 stocks, just watch that MULN, because that's obviously runs the same sector. So for me personally, I would also watch this one. Just 140 break is all I'm looking for on that. Otherwise, I won't be entering the trade on this. BRSH, number one setup, like I mentioned to you guys. It probably will be a slower trade, but we'll just wait and see what happens with this one. I'm not going to be jumping into it yet, just because it's Friday. So that's how I'm going to be trading that. And then HKIT looks all right. Was a former runner, so I just kind of have this one on the watch list there, just waiting. COSM as well. At the moment, we can see, looking on a larger time frame here on the 1 hour, right? We see this. It's kind of falling wedge, to be honest. So this is setting up for a bullish breakout, but the only thing with this is that the volume isn't quite there at the moment, but we know the potential of the stock and what it has done in the past. So don't ignore this. I would look for, this looks very good. So the 130 break looks great. All right, guys. So I'm going to head into Discord now. If you guys can do me a favor, if you can just like the stream up and then also subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't, I'd really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great weekend and a great day of trading. Just remember, today's Friday, so the market usually sells off around lunchtime. Trade smart and have fun and enjoy, guys. I'll catch you on Monday. Thanks for joining, guys.